The conversation surrounding Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua continues to spiral into one of the most debated potential matchups in modern combat sports, not because of belts or rankings, but because of the sheer scale of risk involved. As analysts, former champions, and even promoters weigh in, the picture becomes clearer. This is not just another crossover event built for clicks. This is a collision course between a daring entertainer who has built a reputation off spectacle and a seasoned heavyweight who has lived through the brutal realities of professional boxing. The way Joshua dismantled Francis Ngannou sent a shockwave through the community. It reminded everyone that no matter how much charisma or social influence someone brings into the ring, it means nothing when a true heavyweight connects cleanly. That knockout was swift and devastating, leaving fans questioning whether stepping in front of Joshua's power is a career move or a reckless gamble. Jake Paul seems determined to prove that his rise in the sport is not a fluke. His confidence has always bordered on arrogance, but this time his ambition may have led him into a situation far beyond what he has experienced. He has defeated aging legends and out-of-practice fighters, and while those wins generated attention, they did little to prepare him for a fighter who has spent years sharpening his skill against elite competition. Joshua's size, reach, and power create a physical gap that training alone cannot close in a matter of months. Even the most optimistic supporters of Jake Paul acknowledge that this leap in weight and skill is enormous. Many are already labeling it the most dangerous decision he has ever made. The voices warning him are not casual observers. When industry veterans like Joe Rogan, Dana White, Amir Khan, Carl Froch, and David Haye collectively express concern, it signals something deeper. These are individuals who understand the risk of stepping into the ring with a heavyweight who does not merely win fights but ends them violently. They know how quickly a contest can shift from entertainment to emergency. Their warnings are grounded in experience, not jealousy or hatred. They recognize that Jake Paul's momentum and business acumen have elevated his career, but they also see the potential for devastating consequences if he miscalculates against someone like Joshua. On the promotional side, the Paul camp continues to frame this decision as bold rather than reckless. They argue that choosing Joshua is not just about spectacle, but about finding a slower, more straightforward opponent compared to faster fighters who could outbox Paul technically. The thinking is that a bigger target with a more traditional boxing style gives Paul opportunities to land meaningful shots. According to this perspective, the fight could validate his legitimacy if he performs well. However, critics counter that this logic ignores the raw reality of fighting a heavyweight knockout artist who needs only one punch to end the night. The promotional machine behind this fight is already running at full speed. The event has been positioned as a must-see spectacle, something that transcends boxing. Fans who would normally skip a standard heavyweight matchup are now eager to tune in simply to witness whether Paul can survive or pull off the unthinkable. The date, location, and marketing direction all point to a massive entertainment production designed to draw global attention. From a business standpoint, it is a masterful setup. The financial gains will be enormous, and the media coverage guaranteed. Yet the same elements that make this event so appealing also make it so alarming. The sport's governing bodies and purists worry that the focus on drama and virality overshadows the responsibility to protect fighters. Boxing history is filled with tragic reminders that the ring is not a place for experiments. One mistake, one poorly timed exchange, or one misjudgment of distance can change a career permanently. When experts discuss paramedics, hospital preparations, and the possibility of life-altering injuries, it becomes clear that this is not just hype. Joshua's current position adds another layer to the drama. Coming off a knockout loss to Daniel Dubois, he sees this fight as an opportunity to re-establish dominance and rebuild momentum. A brutal victory over Jake Paul could restore confidence and set the stage for major fights in 2026, including potential showdowns with Tyson Fury or other heavyweight contenders. For Joshua, this fight may feel like a tune-up, but for Jake Paul, it may be a defining test that determines whether he continues climbing or hits a wall that stops him completely. Public perception only complicates matters further. If Joshua wins easily, critics will say he beat someone unqualified and gained nothing. If he struggles or, in a shocking twist, loses, his reputation could take a massive hit. For Paul, even surviving a few rounds could elevate his credibility. Winning a round might be celebrated as a triumph. Landing a clean punch could become a headline. The scales of expectation are completely uneven, creating a bizarre scenario where Joshua has everything to lose and Paul has everything to gain besides his health. The deeper question emerging from all of this is what boxing becomes when spectacle overtakes competition. Does the sport benefit from crossover fights that draw millions of viewers, Or does it cheapen the achievements of those who have spent their lives training within the traditional system? Jake Paul argues that the attention he brings revitalizes boxing. His critics argue that attention alone is meaningless if it puts fighters at unnecessary risk. As the fight approaches, the tension grows. The warnings grow louder, but Jake Paul remains confident, leaning into the narrative that he thrives under pressure and silences doubters. Maybe that belief fuels him, or maybe ego blinds him to the danger ahead. Only the ring will reveal the truth. Now the question shifts to you. Is this a brilliant move that could redefine Jake Paul's boxing career, or has he finally stepped too far into a world that he is not built for? Do you believe he stands any chance against a powerhouse like Anthony Joshua, or will this become the moment that exposes the limits of his ambition? Share your thoughts in the comments, let your voice be heard, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more dramatic and in-depth coverage of the biggest stories in combat sports. Your support keeps the conversation alive,